Hi, Melanie, welcome.
Thank you. Good to be back.
Talking about the law of attraction. Firstly, what is the law of attraction?
That is where you draw towards you what you're seeking, and it can be positive or negative. So after you have understood how it works, you can decide, oh, I'm drawing something negative to me. I don't want that. So there's things that I can teach people how to do to push that away, to clip it so it isn't connected to you. But it's basically drawing towards you what you're seeking.
So it's basically getting a vision of something you want. It can be positive or negative.
Yes.
So it's important not to dwell on the negative.
Right. If you draw the negative or you're wanting something negative to happen to somebody, it might happen, but you're going to receive the consequences of that on your mental health and your physical health.
Okay. How many laws of attraction are there? I mean, I hear a lot of different numbers, 3, 7, 12. Is there a designated number?
It depends on who you're reading, who you're following. I have been doing this work since 1974. So mine goes all the way back to Catherine Ponder and a number of the books back then, The Magic of Thinking Big, Acres of Diamonds, things like that. So that was before all these other different laws came into my awareness. So I use basically just the law of attraction without
Yeah.
having the different types.
And then there's each of the other laws or sub-laws, I guess, have different names given to them.
Yes.
Okay.
And I researched it, so I can tell you what the internet says what they mean if you want to
Yeah,
know that.
sure.
Okay. All right. So it says with the three laws, like attracts like, nature abhors a vacuum, and the present is always perfect. And it's true. If you are in a certain place in your life, you're going to draw people to you that are at that same vibration, whether it's positive or negative. So I teach people when you're looking for a relationship, you're going to attract where you are. So if you want a healthier relationship, you got to work on you first, and then you can attract a higher quality person. So that's where like attracts like. Nature abhors a vacuum. You don't want there to be nothingness. You want something to be in that space. And some people, when they're depressed, they don't have anything they're looking forward to. There's nothing that they want. So they're like stagnant water. They're depressed, they're stuck, and it's like this recurring loop that plays over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And it's like the movie Every Day is Saturday,
Hmm.
nothing changes. So nature abhors a vacuum. And then the present is always perfect. So many people are either living in the past or living towards the future, but they're not aware that living in the present moment, you can create right now, right in front of you at this moment, either happy or sad, good or bad. And when you become present, aware in the moment, it can perpetuate to where you continue that moving forward.
Okay. The vacuum law is really interesting because I know that if you don't fill it with anything, then the universe will fill it with something.
Negative,
Yeah,
usually. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And so if you have nothing you're aiming for, you're going to achieve that. It'll be
Okay.
nothing.
How to apply the law of attraction? Let's talk about that for a moment. Is there a specific set way of applying it?
It's a concept I learned back in the 70s. If you can conceive something and believe that something, you can achieve that something. This is what athletes do. This is what people who are confined as a prisoner of war do. People who were in the concentration camps did. They could see in their mind, I'm not always going to be here. There's going to be a day I'm going to get out of here. And I believe that. And therefore, their mind will start thinking of, okay, what do I have to do to get there? And you keep envisioning that over and over again. And so when it actually happens, it's like you've done it multiple times. It's just repeating a behavior you've done for quite some time, and it works.
Okay. Well, let's talk about manifestation. Firstly, what is manifestation? And then secondly, some manifestation techniques.
Okay. When I work with somebody, we come up with what's called a prayer wheel. This is what Catherine Ponder in her book, The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity, talked about. So I have this prayer wheel that has 6 sections on it. And in each section, you write something that you want to be true, and you put down the date that you want it accomplished by. And then what I do with people is I use kinesiology, which is muscle testing. So I ask their body, the muscles in their body, is this something you truly want, or is this something you've been told in your head you're supposed to want? For instance, if somebody's been told by their family, you're going to become a doctor, because we've all become doctors. So they have that in their mind that that's what I'm supposed to do. And so they're planning it. Oh, this is what I'm going to do by the time I'm 28. And then I ask their body, is that what you want? And it says, no. Well, then that goal is not going to be accomplished. It might be successful, but it's not what they really want psychically, meditatively. And so we change how we do that. So it's envisioning what you really want and then me testing it to see, is that truly what you want in your highest self?
Okay. How does someone other than that discover what they really want? Because I think it's one of the toughest things people have asked. What do you want? You think you would get a straightforward answer, but people struggle with it.
They often don't know. So I use a technique that's called Psy-K. Psy-K is where you have cognitive dissonance. You have your behavior saying one thing and your brain thinking something else. An example would be if somebody says, well, I'm not racist, and then they make an off-color joke they tell their colleagues, and somebody who is observant might say, you know, you said you're not racist, but that joke, oh, I didn't realize that. So there's a disconnect. So what we do is there are different checklists we go through. It might be spiritual, might be financial, it might be relationships, might be health, all different categories. And we muscle test each one to see, is there a lacking, a disconnect in those areas? And if there is, then we write a Psyche goal and when we want it accomplished and what it will look like when it's accomplished. And then I muscle test to see, are you ready, brain and body, to work together to accomplish this? And if they're not, it's not going to work. And if they are, they don't have to consciously remember that goal every single day. I have them have a picture of it and a symbol that helps them to remember what it is. And then it just, when we check back periodically on their success rate, things are being accomplished even when they forgot about it.
Law of attraction and vibration. I hear the word vibration used a lot by teachers. What does vibration actually mean?
If you think of it, if you're not feeling well, you've got a fever, you've got chills, you feel bleh. So that would be a lower vibration. If you think about somebody's going on a date and they really are attracted to this person, their energy and their body is just all revved up. They feel like they're vibrating. So that's a higher frequency. So depending on what you're drawing towards you, you're going to even have that elevated feeling, that excited feeling, or like, oh, dread. Yeah, I got this exam coming up. So that's what they're going to go into the exam feeling that way. But if we instead look at picturing the grade of a B plus or A minus, then they can get all excited about that. So when they actually do the event, they're still having that excitement. So it helps them to achieve what they wanted to achieve.
Hmm. Is there something, an exercise they can do to get their vibration level up?
Yes, there are different exercises that I teach them. One of them is balancing of the both hemispheres of the brain. And all that is I don't, can you see me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you flip the hands over so that they're interlocked, and then you put them into your chest, and then you breathe in through your nose with your tongue at the roof of your mouth, and then you breathe out with your tongue at the bottom of your mouth. And you do that for about 2 minutes. And what that will do is it calms the anxiety, it helps your brain to focus. This is what I do with people to help them prepare for the LSAT exam to go to law school. And also for those that are taking the social work exam, this is how they calm down, their vibration is where it's supposed to be, and the roadblocks are cleared out so that they can move ahead without interruption.
Great. What about gratitude? I've often had it mentioned to me that gratitude is just about the most powerful law out there.
Yes. Are you familiar with Dr. Emoto with his work with
Hmm.
water?
Hmm.
And are you familiar with Dr. Carolyn Leaf, her
Yes.
work? Okay. So the two of them talked about the effect of words on water and on the genetics in the body. So when I have somebody that's depressed and anxious, I have them make up a gratitude list. And then I have them add to it day by day. And I also have them say it out loud. I created from Dr. Carolyn Leaf's work a 21-day program where there's a positive statement you say each day, something you're grateful for. Day one is be still. So I have them think about, what does that mean to be still? How can I be still? And when they can think about that and talk about that and verbalize that, not just mentally, but also audibly, it balances them out and it attracts more of the good to them so that they'll see the glass half full instead of half empty.
Okay. Saying it out loud, how does that help?
Things that you say out loud have a certain tone, a certain vibration. So some people are auditory learners, some are visual, some are kinesthetic. Saying it out loud, your brain can hear it. And when it hears it, it's audible instead of just in your mind, so that it reinforces it. If we say something that we have heard, so you might have heard it when you read it, you heard it in your mind, but you say it out loud, it's going to increase your ability to recall that and retain that and achieve that.
Can showing gratitude get a person out of a funk if they're having a bad day, even if they're having a bad day and things not going well for them, or if life has really got them down? Is gratitude still important?
Yes. When I work with, from the book Ask and It's Given by Esther and John, is it John Hicks?
Hicks? Yep.
Yeah. And in that, they have an exercise where you rate where your emotional set point is. So that, say an event happens and it's like, oh, this always happens to me. So because you think it always happens to you, you're going to be stuck at that emotional point. So what we do is we go through the exercise and we say, all right, so normally you're at worry. Okay. Now let's think of a time you were worried and you resolved that and you turned the worry into something good. So I have them hold that thought and I go, okay, feel that feeling. So they feel that feeling and then I go up the chart. Okay, when's the time you felt this? So by the time we're done, they went from in the doldrums to a higher level, a higher vibration, and their mood shifts within a matter of minutes.
Great. This one's a big one. I think everyone wants to hear about this. How do you attract money with the law of attraction? Is it even possible?
Absolutely, yes. I have been using this since 1974. And one of the things I did is I'm in the process of building a dome house so that it can be off the grid, um, environmentally clean, all that kind of stuff. So what I did when I started this process back about 4 years ago now is I filled out a check with a certain amount so that I would say, this is what I'm going to envision, that by this date, I'm going to have that much saved towards my property, to purchasing property and buying, doing the construction, all that. So I kept that above my computer. So I would just unconsciously see it, subconsciously see it every day. Well, not only did that happen, but it was a bigger check than that. And it happened in a shorter period of time than what I had envisioned that would happen.
Okay. What about for people that like to take a bit of a risk in life and, the lottery, for example, is it something you can use towards trying to win the lottery?
Usually not. The reason being is you have so many people who are all trying to do the same thing. That's not where your best energy is spent. Doing something that's individually going to be enhancing who you are, helping you become more of your highest self, you're going to have a better return on. Because let's say you win the lottery. You don't look at it as, okay, it was just luck, or I envisioned it. And then people who do that and are successful, it's usually just a matter of luck that made that happen, but they think that happened because they did something. And the outcome is usually not good. The money doesn't last. They don't invest it wisely.
Okay. Let's talk about law of attraction affirmations. What are affirmations, and can you give us some examples?
Sure. When I write the Psyche goal with somebody, we do it in the form of an affirmation, and it might say something to the effect that I am living my highest good. I have more than enough money to meet my expenses and to also achieve some of my wants. So that's an affirming statement that they're at their highest good. They're able to meet and achieve what their goals are financially, and they have money left over. And so by writing that, seeing that, and saying it out loud and muscle testing it to see if that's what they want, that's helping your brain to hear, that's my mission. Okay, I can do that. Because what you send out to the universe is what you're going to get.
Hmm. Is there a certain number of times that people should practice their affirmations?
What I have people do, especially those that are feeling low self-esteem, is we together come up with 10 positive statements. And they have to be written in positive language, not negative. And then I have them repeat them out loud 3 times a day into a mirror, because it's important for them to see themselves doing that. Because usually when they first do it, they're so embarrassed, or there's tears because I don't believe this. I don't know why I'm doing this. I said, keep doing it, keep doing it. And the more that they do it, when a negative happens in their life, they've already got that imprint in their brain of those 10 positive things. It wipes out the negative.
Hmm. Once you've made your affirmation, is it a good idea to just let it go and let the universe go to work?
Well, periodically when I'm working with somebody, we go back and we look at the affirmations. And if the one that they had the hardest with, they now, yes, that's true. I accept that. I know that about me. Then we add new ones.
Hmm. Can someone obsess too much over what they're trying to attract into their life?
Yes. And we talk about that. So it's the difference between, it's the journey that's the important part of it, not the goal, not the accomplishment of it. So we talk about, what are you learning about yourself in this process? And so what you have learned in this process, how can you apply it to other areas of your life? Instead of, I wanted to get that Mercedes. I got the Mercedes. It's done. The excitement's gone. What did you learn in the process of getting there? How can you use that in other areas of your life? And once they learn to do that, they're good.
Okay. This one might be a little bit deep, but are quantum physics and law of attraction connected?
Well, I had to look that one up because it is physics, and that's not my strong suit. It says that quantum physics deals with the tiniest particles of energy called quanta, and the law of attraction works thanks to vibration and alignment of energy. So that's the common point. So these particles are energy, and you're attracting that energy, either positive or negative, to you. So you always want to be working towards the positive, to draw the positive energy towards you.
Okay.
And you can, do you know what Kirlian photography is?
Yes.
Okay. So I wish that I had that kind of camera, and I would take a picture of somebody before we started the process, and you would see where there's dead areas in their chakras. And once you start meditating and envisioning and doing this law of attraction, then I take another picture to show them, see the difference, see the energy around you. And I can
Yep.
muscle test that. So I show them by muscle testing, look at how your energy is now more active and going in the correct direction.
Okay. You mentioned meditation. Let's talk about law of attraction meditation. Is meditation and law of attraction Do they go hand in hand?
Yes. All meditation is not law of attraction, okay? But law of attraction is meditation. So when we do the prayer wheel with somebody, I have them go into a meditative state to see what it is they're trying to accomplish so that they're able to put that imprint in their brain. And I get them in that place by doing meditative breathing, by doing a prayer of protection before we start, and by helping their body to relax so that they can see this image of what they want to achieve. So law of attraction involves meditation, but not all meditation involves the law of attraction.
Often I'll hear people say, I haven't got time to meditate. I mean, is it hard to do, and does it take a long time to do?
It's a practice just like anything else. If you were a tennis player, you're not going to be perfect at it the first time you swing the racket. The same with meditation. I've been meditating since 1976. I don't now do it for a set period of time every day, but I'm in a meditative state. So I'm in contact with my resources, my spiritual guides, my extraterrestrial guides. And so it's like I never say amen. It's just I can tune into that channel at any time. So I can put myself in a meditative state in a matter of seconds because I've practiced. And I can teach people how over time
brainwaves and manifestation go hand in hand. If you've been following developments in the law of attraction realm, then you may have heard about brainwaves and their influence on successful manifestation. You may already know that aligning subconscious thoughts and beliefs with your desires are keys to manifestation success. But did you know that brainwaves, which are the electrical impulses in the human brain, play a key role in manifestation? What if you could intentionally tap into your own brainwaves to connect with your soul and bring your intentions to fruition? Many law of attraction devotees believe that you can. Tapping into lower frequency brainwaves is a powerful tool to align with the intentions of the soul. This can be done by practicing brainwave meditation. It's a practice that provides immediate relaxation and helps you to access deeper states of consciousness. So, what is the correlation between your thoughts and your brainwaves? There is a correlation between your thoughts and your brainwaves. Scientists have known this for a long time. It has also been proven through experiments. When you think about something, your brainwave frequency changes. This connection between thoughts and brainwaves can be seen in both healthy people and those with mental illness. It also exists in animals. However, the extent to which it affects their behavior is unknown. The relationship between thoughts and brainwaves is not just limited to humans. Animals also show signs of thinking, influencing their behavior. For example, rats will press a lever more often when they are given food if they know they are being recorded doing so. Birds will also change the direction they fly in when they know a predator is following them. Despite the fact that scientists know about this connection, there is still much that we do not understand about it. It is not yet clear how thoughts affect brainwaves, or if different frequencies of thoughts produce different effects on brainwaves. How does the idea of a thought being an electromagnetic wave relate to other forms of electromagnetic waves, such as light? It is also not known whether the brain uses specific frequencies of thought, or if it simply responds to any form of electromagnetic wave. Let's look at the brainwaves family. So what exactly are brainwaves, and how do you use brainwave meditation to support successful manifestation? Here's a list of the brainwaves. Gamma brainwaves. Gamma brainwaves are high frequency and are the fastest measurable brainwaves. They're linked to heightened mental activity. They are generated when you're concentrating on something or learning new information. Beta brainwaves. Beta brainwaves are at play when you're awake and alert and performing tasks like reading, working, and socializing. The beta state is activated during cognitive tasks and when you engage with the outer world. Alpha brainwaves. Alpha brainwaves are activated as your body and mind enter into a deeper state, and you use alpha brainwaves when you relax and visualize your future and your desires. Theta, brainwaves. Theta brainwaves occur in the brains of experienced meditation practitioners when they enter deep meditation. Your brain enters the theta state when you dream during sleep. Delta brainwaves. Delta brainwaves occur in the deepest stages of sleep. It is the state of healing and is the gateway to the unconscious mind. Experienced meditation practitioners can enter the delta state through very deep, transcendental meditation. Is deciphering brainwaves the key to manifestation? The human brain is an electrochemical organ that houses a network of billions of specialized nerve cells called neurons. As neurons communicate with each other and convey information throughout the body, they produce an oscillating electrical voltage and generate an electric field. Human thoughts and emotions are formed in this electric field. A brainwave is a measurement of this electrical activity in the brain. Brainwaves measure the processes that occur in the brain as we go about our lives. Brainwaves are detectable by tests like the electroencephalogram, or EEG. Different thoughts and emotions trigger the different brainwave types. Some brainwaves are activated when you're focusing on a task, while others are generated during deep relaxation. Scientists have identified 5 types of brainwaves: delta, theta, alpha, beta, and gamma, ranging from low frequency to high frequency, respectively. These brainwaves are activated in the human brain at different times during regular activities in life. Getting in touch with lower frequency brainwaves can help you align with your desires for more successful manifestation. What about the successful manifestation? By training your brainwaves, with practice, anyone can train their mind to access different brainwave states. While it may seem intimidating at first, if this is your first venture into the world of brainwaves, don't stress. This process almost becomes second nature after regular practice. As you train your mind to enter a deep meditative state, you're controlling the frequencies of your brainwaves. By controlling these frequencies, you tap into the power to reprogram your subconscious and unconscious mind and achieve successful manifestation. This mindfulness meditation training is meant to help you attain alpha state. Then it's on to the deeper theta state. Can you manifest faster by tuning into your brain? Waves and rhythms? Yes. If you want to manifest faster, you need to tune into your brain waves and rhythms. Brain waves and rhythms are 2 key aspects of the manifestation phase that can help to quicken the process. By understanding how these 2 factors work together, you can start to speed up your progress. Binaural beats are a type of sound wave that can help you achieve this goal, and these waves work by stimulating different parts of your brain. This in turn can help you manifest what you desire faster. When you listen to binaural beats, you are actually listening to 2 different frequencies that are delivered through headphones. These frequencies work together to create a beat or rhythm in your head. The resulting stimulation can help to activate certain parts of your brain, which can lead to changes in your thoughts and behavior. This is why some people believe that binaural beats can help with meditation, focus, and relaxation. Additionally, binaural beats can improve your concentration and focus, which can make it easier for you to achieve your goals. If you're ready to start manifesting faster, try using binaural beats in conjunction with the other techniques explained in this video. Just remember not to set the levels too high. So, how about brainwaves and manifestation through meditation? Begin by settling into a comfortable posture, with back straight and shoulders softened. Close your eyes. As your body relaxes, notice your breath. Notice the stillness of your body. Release all tension. Begin to find a comfortable, gentle rhythm for your breath. As you inhale and exhale, bring awareness to the gentle rise and fall in your chest. Allow your thoughts to be. If thoughts come up, let them pass by like a cloud in the sky. Bring your attention back to your breath. Notice any feeling or emotion that comes up. Acknowledge the feeling or emotion, then let it go. Return to focusing on your breath. You're feeling very calm now. The activity of your brain has slowed down. This is the alpha brainwave state. As you follow your breath, your mind will go beyond your thoughts and expand to infinity. This is the theta state. In this state, the mind will become aware of its infinite potential and you'll connect to the power of successful manifestation.
Can you give us, say, a crash course on a meditation technique? Maybe, you know, physical things that you need to do.
Yes. First, I would have them find a quiet place, which in this world, in coronavirus era, it might be hard to do that. And then I would put a do not disturb sign on wherever you're at. I would have the person remove any electronic devices that are going to interrupt the process. And then I would have them do the exercise that I taught you. And then I would have them do the breathing part. And once they go inside, there's a set thing that I do with them to go into what I call their inner sanctum. Their inner sanctum is a timeless place, a place where all questions are answered, all things are possible, all things are manifested in that place. So I take them into that place, and either I show them a screen of what it is they're trying to manifest so they can see it on the screen. And then I anchor that. I give the post-hypnotic meditative command that you will remember this. You will be able to do this. And then for many of my clients, I make them a meditation that instructs them how to do this, and then they just play it over and over. And it might be 3 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just tell them to do it every day, to begin with. And after a while, the ending of the recording is, and now you can meditate as long as you need to. So for some, it's like, okay, I'm done. And then for others, they continue with that process until they're ready to come out and back in this dimension and get on with their day.
Okay. Just for this purpose of this tape, can you show us that exercise again?
Sure. You put your hands out in front of you.
Okay.
You flip over the right hand so that it's facing the left palm. Then you take your left palm and flip it over so that the two are interlocked facing each other. So your wrists are crossed, your hands are together, and then you bring it in to your chest. You breathe in through your nose with your mouth closed unless you have congestion. So you breathe in with your tongue at the roof of your mouth. Then you open your mouth, you put your tongue at the bottom and breathe out. And you do that for 2 minutes. And that will
Great.
get you calm down.
Great.
Centered.
What about relationships and the law of attraction? Can you attract, your soulmate into your life?
If you're at the right vibration, yes. But I've got some that they have the ideal person they want to attract into their life, but they're not at that vibration. So it's not going to happen. So you got to work on the relationship with yourself first. So we might design a prayer wheel with the characteristics of the person that you want to bring into your life. And then we muscle test it to see if the time is right, or if you're in the healthy place to have that happen. And then I tell the person, get on with your life. And it won't be that you got to make this happen. You will run into the person, or they'll be preparing for what they're doing, working on themselves, and eventually you'll come together. So it's a process like everything else.
Can people visualize too perfect?
It depends. It's possible, yes. And sometimes when we're developing that prayer wheel or their Psyche goal, we will bring it down a notch and say, okay, within reason, because there's no perfect person, there's no perfect relationship, there's no perfect scenario that's going to last. Everything is temporary, even relationships.
Yeah, there's a lot of single people in the world. I was one of them for a long time, waiting for perfect, but it never shows up. Apart from what you've just mentioned, trying to manifest the right person into your life is one thing, but are there other things that you could be doing in the meantime?
Yes, you could be working to try to achieve your highest good. So I have people look at what in your life is a stumbling block right now to what you want to achieve. So I look at, there's 4 parts to change. The first part is, I've been like this my whole life. I can't be anything different. I want to be, but I don't know how to be. So stage 2 is I said I wasn't going to do that anymore. I wasn't going to drink to excess, get drunk, and not remember the next day. But I just did it again. Stage 3 of changing that behavior is, oh my gosh, I'm doing it right now. I just had my 5th beer in the last 3 hours, and I'm going to regret it. Stage 4, oh, I'm invited to this party. I know there's going to be a lot of drinking. What other options do I have? So like everything, it's a process. So you work on yourself first.
Law of attraction and a person's health, can the two be related?
Yes. I did this for myself when I was diagnosed with cancer, had 5 minor strokes and Lyme disease. I had to envision for myself, what would my life look like if I was healthiest? And so, like everything else, it was a process. But little by little, as I did my prayer wheel and I would date it, I would go back and check. Yep, that's been accomplished. I'd check it off my list. I'd make a new prayer wheel and I put in, okay, now I want, instead of taking 25 medications a day by 60 days from now, I want to be down to 10. And so I would go back and assess the progress all along the way. And today, I am extremely healthy compared to where I was. Am I perfect? No. Do I have things to work on? Yes. But the goals that I had were achieved.
A person thinking themselves healthy is one thing, but there are physical things that they can also do that will help them on their path to health.
When you envision and do the law of attraction and you meditate on this, ideas will come to you of, like it did for me, you need to see this health practitioner, or you need to read this book, or you need to try this supplement, or you need to consult with this expert. And so I would follow up on those intuitive suggestions. And that's what they were, suggestions to help me to achieve what I said I wanted to achieve.
What about people on a fitness goal? They use the same principles?
If it's a fitness plan, I try to keep it reasonable. They want to lose 50 pounds in 2 months. I said, that's not healthy. That's not a good goal. I would agree to you losing 50 pounds over the next 15 months. So you do it slowly, and then we would come up with a plan. What do you need to do in order to do it this slowly so that it lasts? And it isn't just, okay, I achieved my goal, and then you put it right back on plus more.
Okay, so going for a big goal in like for a home run in one hit is probably not a good idea.
No, you might achieve it. Okay, you achieved it, but what have you changed so that you don't end up back there again?
This is a more broad question concerning the law of attraction, but can it be used in any endeavor?
I would say yes. When used appropriately, yes. Yes.
Okay. When you say when used appropriately, so in some endeavors you perhaps shouldn't really use it?
I'm saying if you're using it for negative, like say somebody's attracted to somebody, I want him to get unmarried and marry me. Okay. That's not necessarily a good course of action because that might happen, but the negative things in your life that will result from that, if you have children, they might be alienated from you. The ex-spouse might get angry and sue you. You might get what you say you want, but when you get it, you realize, oh, he cheated with me. He's now still seeing his ex-wife and cheating on me with her. He has a girlfriend on the side. So it wasn't exactly what I envisioned.
So plotting someone else's downfall is not a good idea.
Not a good idea at all because it will come back to harm you.
Okay. Let's talk about visualization, law of attraction and visualization. A lot of people have difficulty with this. Is there an easy way to use visualization successfully?
It depends on what kind of learner the person is. Some people, like I said, are auditory, some are visual, some are kinesthetic. So if they are an auditory learner, but they can't see things, then there might be words that I have them paste around their office or their bedroom or whatever, So it will be a trigger to help them to remember the goal, even if they can't see it visually. Because I'll tell them when we're doing the meditation, the visualization, I'll say, you don't have to see this to have it work.
Hmm. Can visualization include like like you feel something? Can it also involve smell and touch?
Yes. When I do a psyche goal with somebody, we write the goal, then we look at visually how will you know when it's accomplished? How will others visually see? Then we look at how will you auditorily know that it's accomplished? What will others say to you? And then kinesthetically, feeling wise, when is a time that you accomplish something like this? Remember that feeling. And then I have them anchor that feeling. And then I have them, depending on what they use as their symbol, it might be a purple heart. So then I will have them, okay, when we're done coming out of the meditation doing this, now I want you to color a heart purple, cut it out, and keep that where you can see that. And for others, it's to cut out a word and leave it somewhere. And for others, it might be they need the texture, the feeling. So I'd have them cut a piece of satin cloth in the shape of a heart, and I'd have it keep it where they could feel it. So it depends on what method of learning.
Yeah. Is there a best time of the day to do visualization exercises?
Depends on the person. Some people are night owls, some people are morning. So it depends on the person.
Hmm. And like meditation, find a quiet place?
Yes. And sometimes for people, that means they have to go in their bathroom at work when they're able to go to work, and they have to sit in the stall and just, put on their earbuds and listen to the meditation for 5 minutes, and then they're recentered, and then they can go back to work.
Hmm. I guess I was just thinking visualization certainly did work for me, because I used to get told many times at school I'd be sitting there and just and probably have something thrown at me, and
Yes.
you're daydreaming again, but really you're visualizing.
You're manifesting.
Yeah, yeah. And speaking of school, law of attraction and kids. Can kids use law of attraction to achieve things they want in their life?
Oh, yes. I work with my 9-year-old grandson. We live with him and my daughter. And I will say to him, all right, Jason, you want X. So we'll draw it on the whiteboard. You want to earn $10 or whatever. And because he wants to use it for Fortnite or Apex. And I'll say, all right, so picture what you could do to earn that money. And I'd say, can you see that money? Yeah, Grandma, I can see that money. All right, what do you have to do to get there? Well, I got to do this, this, and this. Okay, when are you going to do that? Okay, well, I can do this, this, and this. Okay. And so he puts it in motion and he goes forth, and that prize, that $10, is his ultimate goal. So it motivates him and gets it done.
Hmm. How are kids understanding that just visualizing or thinking about something doesn't mean that they're going to get it, that there needs to be some sort of an action from them?
Well, we do with him critical thinking exercises. He'll have something that's way out of the realm of appropriate for him. And we will say to him, all right, let's talk about this. What would happen if you got that? Um, an example was he had permission this week to stay up as late as he wants and not have to do his normal chores. So he took that to heart, but he forgot that your decisions impacts others. So he was up till 2 o'clock this morning, loud and laughing, and Grandma couldn't sleep. So I got up multiple times and said, okay, the last time, TV goes off. What? I was supposed to, yes, but what you wanted infringed on what I needed. So we're going to have to compromise. So he pouted, he stomped around. I never get what I want. Okay, it might seem like that right now, but let's talk about it. So we later apologized to each other, and he's beginning to understand that what I want, I can get, but sometimes what I want isn't good for others.
Right, right. Law of attraction and I guess training courses, but let's talk more about books. So what would you regard some of the best law of attraction books that people can read and use?
One of them is called The Law of Attraction by Michael J. Loser. Creative Visual, can you see that? Creative Visualization
Hmm.
by Shakti Gawain. Conscious Creation by
Might,
D. Wallace.
you may have to just put the one forward a bit. There we go. What
All
was up
right.
there for a minute? Anyway, that's fine.
All right. Okay. This is the one that I started with years ago. It's called The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity by Catherine Ponder. I don't know if you were where you were in Australia, if you saw her show. She used to be at a piano on Sunday mornings and she'd
No.
play and okay, but she is a really good um, pioneer for the law of attraction. And then this one is Ask and It's Given by Esther and Jerry Hicks. So those are the ones. And then another one that I use is by David Chi. And he wrote also about the law of attraction. And people can hear the interview I did with him on my website for my
Yeah.
radio show.
The book that I loved when I first read it, and it was only been in recent years, is The Science of Getting Rich, Wallace D. Wattles. And it was just so simple, and I just understood it, and I guess for where I was intellectually, it was perfect for me. And of course, the other material that really had an impact on me was Elle Nightingale's teachings.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. All of
What,
that, you know, the Acres of Diamonds, the magic of thinking big, they've been around for decades, but that was what got me started in this direction.
yeah, yeah. And I think people tend to just complicate this process.
Mhm. They do.
What about courses? You mentioned that first book you showed us, but are there recommended courses that you would suggest people take a look at?
Yes, there's one online. It's called The Complete Law of Attraction Guide, How to Manifest Your Dream Life. So that would be when I went and looked at the course. It's free, it's simple, it's the basics. So that would be where I'd tell people to start.
Couple more questions. If the law of attraction isn't working for someone, despite them, using it and trying to apply it, what could be going wrong?
A number of things. One of it could be that they're doing a lot of negative self-talk, and I have to assess, how they're talking to themselves and help them to understand you draw where you are and to change how they talk to themselves. Another thing can be a process that I use called the emotion code by Dr. Bradley Nelson. There's the chart of 60 emotions, and depending on what happened to somebody, an emotion might have gotten stuck, and that emotion can be affecting them so they can't move forward. So we have to assess through kinesiology that needs to be unstuck, and to do that. And then it may be that they have a negative spiritual attachment. They might have a negative entity attached to them. So I have to discern through muscle testing if that's going on. If it is, and I detach it with their permission, it's immediate, the difference. You can see a light in their eyes. I ask every single person, tell me how you feel. Every single person says, I feel lighter.
Hmm. Can people still be having, negative blocks from their past, from things people have said to them that they still haven't dealt with?
Yes, and that's what the emotion code process would help to unblock those and help them heal from that. Yes.
Law of attraction, step by step. Could you give us like a quick crash course on the entire law of attraction process?
Okay. When somebody comes to me and they say, I'm stuck, I can't achieve what I want in life, then I look first to see, is there an emotional blockage? Is there a spiritual blockage? Is there negative self-talk? And then once we get all that taken care of, then we design, what do you want? And then we muscle test to see, is that really good for you? I give them things to read. I give them videos to watch, like the Dr. Carolyn Leaf, Dr. Emoto. We come up with a list of affirmations. I have them make a gratitude list. We do a Psyche goal. And then session by session, we go over it and see their progress until they're able to see it on their own. And I teach them how they can do it without me. And they're fine.
Okay. What about somebody at home that wants to start applying the principles without help from a coach?
Well, I would have them go look at that online system that I told you about. I'd have them start reading some of the books I mentioned, and then they can email you or email me to ask, what does it cost? Because it's pretty cost effective to work with somebody like me to accomplish that.
The phrase law of attraction techniques may confuse many people who immediately look for a plan or a system at the mention of these words. In some respects, the law of attraction is a system, but it's not mechanical. In today's world, we are surrounded by so many people who have achieved their goals and desires through these methods. Did we say methods? Again, it will conjure up some sort of system. My best explanation of putting law of attraction techniques into practice and watching them work is be, do, have. But here's what you need to know. The universe doesn't distinguish between good and bad or positive and negative. Whatever you conceive in your mind and dwell on will be yours. But still, there are some people who don't know how they work or what exactly it means when someone says, "I am using a law of attraction technique." We will show you several law of attraction manifestation techniques that, if put into practice daily, will change your life. Let's look at them. 1. The visualization technique. When you visualize yourself getting whatever you want, you create a strong belief inside your subconscious mind that you actually get it. You must believe 100% that you achieve your desired result. Your thoughts become reality. 2. The affirmations technique. Here you use positive affirmations to manifest your desires. Positive thinking leads to positive results. By repeating over and over again, you make your desire come true. 3. The meditation and relaxation technique. Meditating on your desires helps you connect deeply with your inner self. Once connected, you feel more confident about attaining your dreams. 4. The intentional breathing technique. This technique involves deep breathing while visualizing your dream clearly in your mind's eye. As you breathe out negative emotions like fear, worry, etc., you clear your mind from distractions and focus only on your vision. 5. The dream recall technique. You recall vivid images during sleep time. These images represent your future. During daytime, you should live each moment fully aware of where you are right now. Be present in every situation. 6. The mantra technique. Mantras are sounds, words or phrases repeated mentally to invoke higher power. Repeating mantra increases concentration level and brings peace within oneself. 7. Thought field therapy. Thought field therapy uses visualization to heal emotional wounds caused due to past experiences. TFT creates new thought patterns that lead to healthy living. 8. Energetic vibration and the Qigong technique. Qigong, pronounced Qigong, is based on ancient Chinese philosophy. Qigong teaches students to control their minds and bodies simultaneously. Practicing Qigong improves health, vitality, and longevity. 9. Prayer technique. Praying to God gives strength and courage to face challenges. It also connects us directly to our Creator. So, what does it all mean? So let us start with understanding what techniques mean before talking about any particular method. The first thing that comes to our mind when we hear the word law of attraction is something like law of gravity. It seems very logical because if I throw a ball towards the ground, the earth attracts it back at me. But the truth is, not everything has its own specific force or energy associated with it. The same way nothing can be attracted to anything else without having any kind of connection between both. For example, there is no such thing as magnetism without electricity. Similarly, there is no gravity without matter. We cannot say that the universe is attracting certain objects to itself. No. Everything just happens according to the laws of nature, and those laws do not change even though we may think otherwise. They always remain constant. That is why we call them laws. So, let's look at 5 law of attraction techniques in a little more detail. Don't get put off by the word technique. Truth is, there is work involved in anything you do that's worthwhile. A technique is simply a method of performance or a way of accomplishing. What you're accomplishing when you put these LOA techniques into practice is achieving what it is you truly desire at a particular time in your life. So what is it you truly desire? Here are 5 law of attraction exercises you can use and apply right away to help bring your manifestations to life. 1. Visualize through writing. Also called scripting, visualizing through writing is a powerful law of attraction technique that lets the mind explore possibilities while drawing an emotional connection to your desires. Grab a pen and paper. Then, simply start writing words or phrases that describe your intention or what you're looking to manifest. As you write, more and more exciting words and phrases and ideas will come to you. As you keep focusing on writing the best-case scenarios from your mind, you'll be clarifying your intentions. See your manifestation as clearly as you can. As you write, combine your visions with positive emotion and the universe will hear you loud and clear. 2. Align with your vision. Now that you've started to write your ideal scenario and have started to feel the excitement building about your manifestations, you're in a very open state. See if you can hold on to that vision by aligning your hopes with expectations. Close your eyes and imagine your vision as if it's already happening. What do you see, hear, or smell? Try to soak up all the feelings of this new reality. It's completely normal for thoughts of doubt and uncertainty to begin creeping in. Know that this is normal and expect it to happen, and you'll be in a good place to refute those opposing thoughts when they do arise. Just keep bringing your attention back to your visualization to enhance your attraction power. 3. Connect your vision with an object. Have you ever noticed that New Age bookstores often sell crystals too? This is because using a small object to associate with your desire can help cement your dreams in your mind, activating the law of attraction. Crystals are commonly used to help people focus their energy and bring manifestations more effectively to life using the law of attraction. Use an object such as a crystal to connect your positive thoughts to while you're in a good visualization state. Then, each time you see or hold or look at that object, you'll be reminded of your vision consciously and subconsciously. 4. Live as if it's happened. Now that you've imagined your ideal reality and painted the picture of what it'll be like for you to live it, it's time to live as if it's already happened. Who do you need to become in order to be that person you envision? What habits might you need to let go of to step fully into your vision? Start living this way right now and embody your manifestation. 5. Start decluttering. As you begin to live the life that your future self is living, you'll notice that certain objects and clutter can distract your mind. You might find that you can't tolerate clutter as much as you could before your visualization practices. Take this time to gather all the things you don't want or need and donate them or sell them. You'll feel 100 times better once these things are out of your living space. Symbolically, you're making room for your manifestations to come into reality. This process is particularly helpful if your vision involves letting go of an old way of thinking or feeling, or letting go of a period in your life that was traumatic or unproductive or negative in some way. In closing, our minds attach memories to our physical surroundings, so getting rid of these items can free up your mind to pull in new manifestations. What needs to be understood is that the word law of attraction does not mean anything magical at all. It simply refers to an idea or concept where everything happens according to our thoughts and beliefs. So if something good comes to us, then we believe that it has come from somewhere else because we think that it must have been sent to us as a gift. On the other hand, if something bad comes to us, then we feel like it's punishment for whatever wrong we did earlier on. This is just one example of how things happen around us based upon our own thinking process. Recapping the law of attraction with a very basic explanation is very simple. Whenever we want to attract something positive towards ourselves, then we need to focus only on those positive feelings inside us. But also don't forget, if you focus on the negative stuff in your mind, then guess what? You do the math.
You spoke at the recent Consciousness Summit on raising your vibrational frequency while connecting to your higher consciousness. So what does all this mean?
Okay. I used the example during the summit of the near-death experience and how they told me that we are all one, we're all connected, that what one does affects the others. And they told me that I was to connect with them more often. Well, I was taught in 1976 by a Catholic sister during my seminary training of how to meditate and how to journal. And so I've been doing that since 1976. So what they told me during the near-death experience was I was to connect with them more often, to meditate more often. And that by connecting with them and meditating, I was going to get more information, what I call downloads. And that would, it's like a building block. The more I do that, the more I learn. The more I learn, the more they'll give me more instructions as to what to do next. So when I work with people, I teach them how to go inward through what we call your inner sanctum, your internal place that's your launching pad to the other dimensions. And then I lead them in a meditation to connect with the other side. And when you do that, that helps to raise your vibration. And the more that you do it, it helps. And then there's other things, certain kinds of exercise, listening to music that's at a certain hertz level, that will also help to raise your vibration. So different things like that.
Yeah. There just seems to be a lot of law of attraction about the higher consciousness and raising your vibrational frequency. I mean, I'm thinking about teachers like Esther Hicks, who teaches, you know, vibrational frequency and raising your level and higher consciousness. I mean, is that all connected?
Yes, I use Esther Hicks. Her information, it's balancing by numbers. That numbers, when you say them out loud, they have a certain frequency, and that frequency can either help or interrupt your natural flow of your health. So I use that. I use the Rife machine. I use Reiki. I use a method called advanced cell training. It's a series of letters and numbers that are said either silently or out loud with music to back it up, which tells your brain to normalize whatever's out of whack and to put it back in balance.
People can use vibrational frequency and to connect with higher consciousness to make contact with ETs as well?
Yes, yes.
Do you teach that?
I don't teach that, but there's others that do. So I do work with a group. That's with Kevin Briggs.
Mm-hmm.
And if you haven't interviewed him,
Yep.
that'd be a good thing to do.
Several times.
Okay. So what we do is I was part of the Earthly Council. We called ourselves 3 Musketeers, 4 Musketeers. And I led him in a meditation so that he could channel Ort and the other Council of 8 members. And that's how I got introduced to the Council of 8 and have worked with them ever since.
Yeah. Is this something that anyone can do?
I believe it is something anyone can do, but you might need guidance to get you started. But yes.
Right. Is it safe?
A very good question. I believe that every time you do meditation, I use the analogy, it's like you're opening the screen door to let a friend come in that you've welcomed to your home. But when you're doing that, the bumblebees, the flies, the roaches, the bugs can all come in with it. So I do a prayer of protection to anchor somebody by envisioning their feet are redwood tree roots planted deeply in the earth, and out of the top of their head is silvery cord that's connected to the divine. So you tug on those 2 things to anchor you, and you envision a divine yellow light around you to protect you so that the negative can't come in and detract from the good you're doing.
I mean, is there some way people can avoid getting on a low frequency?
You need to work with somebody that can help teach you how to raise your vibrational frequency, yes. And I've worked with clients who, and I'll actually go to their home to do an expulsion of the negative entities that are there and to do a wall of protection around them and to teach them how to say to those malevolent beings, you are not welcome here. You are not allowed in my life, in my house, in my mind, out.
Okay. So the bottom line, what are the benefits of connecting to a higher consciousness?
The benefit is that you realize you're part of the whole and that you matter, that your part is just as important as any other part in the whole.
Right, right. Can you relate, I mean, you've talked about your near-death experience, but can you relate an experience or two that you've had connecting to higher consciousness?
Sure. When I do the work meeting with the council, at times what has happened is I will get like it feels almost like an electrical shock throughout my whole body. There will be a rise in temperature. I will feel almost blissful. And Edgar Mitchell described this same experience that he had on the spacecraft when he was there. And when I had that happen, my phone fried.
Wow.
I had forgotten to put it out in the car when I was doing this meditation. I was with Kevin in the group at the time. And when I took my phone to be repaired, they said, "We've never seen anything like this. What happened?" I just said, "I don't know," because I didn't know. I know sort of, but I didn't know the technicalities as why it happened. So that was one. And now what they do, since I've met with the Council of Eight, if I have a message that I'm not getting and they're trying to get me to pay attention, they will do a high pitch frequency in my right ear. It's almost like I can't even explain it. It'd be like a tone that you hear, but it's just,
It's not something that would kind of sound a little bit like when you have a touch of tinnitus.
I don't know, because I don't know. I think it would be like that, but it's not. It's just a high pitched squeal that's just, it's very loud, and I have to hold my ear because it's like, ow. And so what they're telling me is, we have a message for you. And then it's like I tune in, okay. And sometimes it's while I'm working with a client and they'll want to say to me, so and so's aunt is here. Ask them about the lady in the pleated dress. And it's like, sometimes that's not the right timing for me to, talk
Wow.
to a brand new client. And so I will just in my head say, remind me later. Or I will go, okay, I'll try this out. Well, I'm still trying to pay attention to what the client's saying. And I'll just ask, I'll say, who do you know in your life that wore this purple pleated dress? And tears will start and they'll go, that was my Aunt Mary. I said, okay, what's the significance of that to you? Well, I asked for some sort of sign that she was still around me and that, she isn't lost. And I said, well, she's here.
Yeah, yeah.
And they'll go, that's the confirmation that I was needing.
So is this the same as being psychic?
I would say that it's a skill that was given to me that has developed further because of my contact with beings from other places, whether that be angelic or ETs or whatever it may be.
Yeah, it's fascinating.